What's up, guys? I'm doing part two, and now I'm just gonna. I think I left off at being finally like reaching to the sun, and the God of Light showing me how to connect with a better and different way to our energy source that's to this earthly realm to power up and kind of get a juice fueliness off of and to waking up like my chakras. And so this is gonna be part two. So I just did my run. I do a run every other walkthrough I run. So I try to stay in shape, and because you gotta work all three: mind, body, and spirit. All three are important keys to growth. But so I connected with my energy source, and well, we all can connect the same energy sources. This is which ones you decide to work with and connect with, and so I connected with it, and then he started teaching me how to like train with it a little bit just me and him, and or it, whatever you want. Maybe it isn't it. I don't know. I consider it him because it's dressed like a man, well, dressed like a boy, and then eventually evolved into a man. So I kind of think it's part of my inner child, part of myself, but whatever. That's another thing down the road, and I'm gonna get to. But so like, let me move on to the next part. And so I connect with energy. He's like learning me. He's like, I want you to create an orb of light. So I now have connected with that light. So I made an orb of light, kind of like And then like I started hearing him as like weapon. I kept hearing weapon in my mind. So I was like, what would I fight with? And I came up with a spear/staff, because like if I was fighting regular people, I'd want it to be a staff because I don't want to just be killing people. But what if I'm fighting evil entities and demons and evil people, which like they sometimes evil people need to die, and so I was like a spear, and it was like it had its own design along the hilt of the staff, like throughout the whole pole. It was just like had its own crazy looking design. I didn't come up with it. It's kind of like it was always there for you to reawaken to it. And then he's like, practice with it. And then he's like, now try pulling the sun's energy to your feet. So I pulled it from there to where I'm standing, and I'm connecting with its life source. And then he's like, go walk the opposite direction of the sun. Walk as far as you possibly can. Like, just go. And I see like darkness all in front of me, but like behind me, because I went the opposite direction, is all light. I went as far as I can, because what happened is like once I got so far away from the sun, how do I explain? Like the darkness started covering the sun up. Like my light was still on the ground, but like the darkness was like kind of like I hit my limit, because you only have so much energy built up inside of you, if that makes sense. And so I pretty much sat myself down, and I did this to the sun too, because like I realized like. I watch a lot of TV shows and cartoons, and the spiritual world is like kind of like the cartoon world in a sense. And I left a clone of myself breathing in energy nonstop of the sun, and then I would just pull it in me every so often, and I would remake a new clone of myself doing that. So like it's always building energy up, because like we don't have time to do this all day long. I have to go to work, I have to go make money, I have to go take care of myself and my family or my friends, and so then I did that, and then I did the same thing with my energy. I just sat down at the distance, because I walked back a little bit, because he's like, my higher self was like, go back a little bit, you've gone too far. The darkness is starting to cover the light again. I was like, okay, because like you can technically burn yourself out, and they can do harm more than they can do good. And this is why it's really important to connect with your spirit, inner spirits, your higher self, so like they can tell you like, you're doing too much, or it's okay to move forward with what you're thinking. And so like I went back, and then the sun, all the darkness that was on the ground kind of like went back under the ground, and then I just stopped, and I sat down, left a clone of me holding that light. So like it built up, that power built it up. And then I kind of stopped for that day, because I moved on doing some other stuff. And then came back later on. I think it was like another day or two later, and then and I kept like kind of pushing my limits. I was absorbing the old me that was in the sun. I'd pull it into me, and I'd feel like this energy change. And then I replaced a new clone like I always do. And then I kind of unhooked the clone that I had before, and I just started from where it was at and tried to go further. So I did that for about a week or two. And then I built up enough energy that my higher self's like, let me take you somewhere. Because like, you got to trust in your higher self for your growth. And if you don't trust your higher self for growth, then you're never going to really grow, if that makes sense. And so he took me, and I see this giant angelic looking being. It had like 6 wings, and it was maybe like 4 or 5 stories tall. And it was all in chains, like it was trapped. And then I released it. Like at first I was like, what do I do? Like it's trapped, can I free it? And he's like, yeah, you have the power to do it now. So I like broke the chains off of it. And then like it like went from a giant to like this little kid. And it was crazy because that little kid ended up looking like me when I was a little kid, right? So it's like think of like the inner child that like I grew up and my inner child grew up. And then like it became my guardian, and it took form, and this is what my higher self told me, it was like it took form of my most powerful past life, which was an angel. So an angel was like one of my highest forms that could take form, that was like physical form that could protect me, like a guardian, but like it was trapped. So like all it could really do was like kind of guide me, like be your spirit guide, but like from beyond the realm, and you really couldn't talk to it because you weren't connected to it. Because, when we were young, we were like told to not believe in magic and connecting with our higher selves. We were always told like all that shit's fake. And some religions, they believe in that, but in this sense of, at least from my perspective, for the people like me that grew up in like Christianity and stuff like that, you kind of were broken from your own soul. You weren't really taught how to connect with your soul. And so as I learned to connect with it, I started as a kid, and I couldn't even hear the kid. I just kind of was like, I love you. I want you to know that, like, I care about you, and I believe in our magic and our power now. And I don't want to say magic just because, like, it's a description of, like, moving energy, like creating energy, like what a magician would technically do, like Merlin or something like that. Like, it's just all about how you connect with the energy and what you do and move it through your body and how you do things with it. But like, so like, I'm telling you, I love it, and I trust in it now, and guide me the best way you can, and we'll grow together this time, and like got really happy, and instantly from the love, the energy I put into him, it like grew, and but like didn't grow much more. It grew into like, I don't know, maybe like it went from like a little kid, like maybe 3 or 4 years old, to like now he's like 8, 9, 10-ish, But it started taking on my form, mixed with the spirit boy, like the kid that's been helping me grow. It like started morphing into like him. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it just like it changed, it evolved, and like it's me, but it's the spiritual me, and but it had blonde hair, so it went from like having my dark hair like I did to having blonde hair, which I was originally born with blonde hair, blue eyes. Most Jewish kids are born with blonde hair, blue eyes, and then we start cutting their hair at a young age. It's like Rapunzel. So like the Rapunzel background comes from the Jewish people being originally born blonde hair, blue eyes. And you cut their hair, and their hair, once you cut it down to nothing, it like ends up like turning darker and darker the more you kept cutting it. And happens more with boys as with women. Their hair will be like more like a light brown. As you see, my hair is dark brown, damn near almost black. As you see, like you can see the lighter color in my mustache, my beard, because I don't shave it. I more like trim it. But like as you can see, it's kind of dark in its own ways. But when light hits it, I get this light colored tone to it, which you can see the blondness. So like I kept working with my inner spirit, and then my spirit kept growing, and I kept doing the other work. So like it's like it's like some people think like I stopped with my workouts and stuff like that because I was like, I need to do this. because I know like eventually something told me like down the road when I start working out again, I'm gonna get stronger than I've ever been before. I'm gonna heal faster, and I won't need no supplements or anything anymore because my energy will be high. You know, I have a high energy intake, and I'll be able to deal with magic and do other things because I do believe eventually like I'm gonna be able to fly. I'm lately having visions of me flying. Like I'm learning how to like raise my energy inside me and like take off. You know, but even at that moment, it's still scary for me because it's going to be a new experience because every moment of life that we experience is a new spiritual experience. So like I kept working with him, and it became like this blonde hair fox looking being. And then like it kept changing and morphing and evolving as I keep growing, evolving. Like, so now my higher self version of me is like, he's got like this dope ass like like medieval armor type shit, but it's not. It's like dragon skills. It's just like now I've mixed with like dragons and monkeys and wolves and angels and higher beings, alien type beings. And so like I'm like me, still the blonde hair guy looking guy, but like now I got this like dope ass armor with like these dragon / angel like wings, and I have the 6 wings like I saw when I saw my higher self when I first freed him. So like he evolved again, but even more powerful evolution. And I know that I'm a slowly evolve to that being, but it's like it takes time because things are going to happen that's going to like force my evolution, just like we're going through like the universe is changing and we're getting a new evolutionary change, and like people are like changing as you see. And I'm like I can work with gravity now. I have a homie, he's really good with like telekinesis, which I'm learning how to do now because it's sometimes like, you know, you're missing pieces of the puzzle of like the feelings, and I can't learn everything at once. But then like I was doing this stuff for a little bit, and then I met somebody, and this is where you gotta be careful when you meet spiritual people because not all people are good. And when you're first learning to grow spiritually, you're learning whether those people are good or bad, and if that makes sense. And he was claiming to be like Jesus. And which is cool, you know, like people have like past lives, and past lives sometimes are those people, but like this man was claiming to be Jesus and was like stealing from people their inner spiritual things, like because like eventually you'll meet like you'll go in your past lives, and those past lives will give you tools and give you like knowledge and stuff like that. And like it's the one thing he can never take is the knowledge you get, but like and gifts, but like some of these gifts are like items. In the process of them trying to hand you the item, he'll steal it and do something to it and fucks with it and try to tell you that like he was trying to convince me like, oh yeah, I was supposed to fuck with it and do this and that, and like my higher self was like, don't let him touch your shit anymore. And then like so like we had this talk because like, you know, I'm a man, I'm coming at you like as a man to man, like bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like why are you touching my stuff? Why are you messing with it? Why are you adding to things? And then like, and he's like, I didn't know, you know, he's saying I'm blind, but then he can see all these things. So he'll play blind when like he's fucking you up or doing stuff to you. But then like, he'll be like, oh, I see this person, and this person, and this person, and that person. I see all this. And then I'm like, bro, how are you claiming blind, but when you're doing me dirty, you know? So like, this is where you have to be like, wise, and this is where wisdom comes in, because like as you grow, like levels of narcissism grow too, and they're going to steal from you, and they're going to always, and as you grow, but you have to realize you have to keep growing more and more, because they're going to come at you next level, and they're going to match that level in a sense. And it's like, are you going to level up to overpower them so they can't steal from you, or are you going to fall for their bullshit again, or the same type of bullshit? But sometimes these things change because it's like as you level up, you're also breaking cycles because you're healing your past lives. But I just want to put that in there. But I met this guy, and he kind of like let me know, because I was still kind of questioning what I was dealing with. Does that make sense? Like, you know, when you're learning stuff, you're questioning everything. And he kind of like made me start believing in my magic, like really believe, like, yeah, bro, you're there. Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, oh, I've been doing it. Like, I just think and focus. And then when I focus to where I want to go, I just go, and I first empty my mind, and then I go to where I want to go. And then, you know, so then like I'm learning stuff and we're doing things together, which is like, you know, because sometimes you have to meet good and bad people to help your growth. Like everything's a teacher. And when you start learning that everything's a teacher, then, you know, you start taking it as life lessons, and it'll be for your growth, you know. And there's been people that tried to steal my power away, and now I've learned to lock them up. Like, I'll lock their whole soul up, so like they can't tap into any more of the outsourced stuff, and it's using their energy to power up the imprisonment that I put them in. And it's not like I imprison them like on purpose. Like, I want to do it purposely. It's just more like you're hurting people. And the people that are my people, I can't let you hurt them because you're trying to control them. And this spiritual growth is not about control. It's about like controlling yourself and learning to control the elements and stuff like that through yourself, not through outside sources, not stealing from them. And so the more stronger you have to be stronger than to use this ability. And you have to do things to like unlock that ability to even have, because like I've unlocked other things that have other abilities, but like this one's like kind of like, as I unlocked this ability, I unlocked as I leveled up, it gets more powerful, and the thing has changed and evolved itself. So like evolution happens even through the spiritual world. And so I kind of warned Dude, because I told Dude, I was like, you take from me again, you know, like, so I went back to the story. I was working with Dude, and I told him, like, if you do it again, next time we're going to have problems. You know, like, I am a fighter, you know. I'm not just some punk that you're going to just try to take from. I'm going to fight back. I'm going to find a way to fight back. And I trust my higher self and my spirits that I've unlocked to guide me, you know. And so I ended up learning, and then he did it again and tried to fuck with me. And it was other people he was doing that too. So I kind of like warned them, and they kind of didn't believe me. But I was like, one of those things that, you know, like, just like me, I got to learn the hard way. So they got to learn the hard way. But I warned people, and some people already knew. They're like, from the get-go, they're like, yeah, there's something weird about this guy. Like, he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Like, and they knew better. So I'm like, okay. You know, like, so like, and I was listening to people, because good people come around and good people like congregate. It's kind of like we're in our own temple in the spiritual world, and God will guide you. Your higher self will guide you to meet the right people too, during even the times of the bad. And so like all these people were kind of helping me level up and healing me and helping me, and then I grew again, and I locked him up. So now he's like fake pretending with the people. And at least he can't hurt nobody no more. Like, he can't steal their stuff. He can kind of guide them. He's pretty much playing fake guide. And he can't do nothing no more other than like connecting with demons. Like, I've seen people that like, they get locked up, but they'll still try to get demons to do shit. And the demons can't do nothing because they have to come to me to break it. Because you have to, but even if you kill my physical body, my spirit is always my spirit, unless you kill my spirit. And that's going to be a lot harder to do, because my spirit's pretty highly evolved now at this point to do anything. So, all my thing does, my imprisonment does, is lock you up. And it forces you to, pushes out the negative energy. So it uses your negative energy that you keep stealing from everyone anyways, and it powers it up to make it to where it locks you down so you can't use your own power. And it forces you to either heal or die out. And it might take 1,000 years. It could take however long it takes, how many lifetimes it takes you to fucking figure it out. You're going to have to figure it out, you know? So, but I had leveled up a whole bunch. I went and visited a whole bunch of different places. And then I start building in my spiritual world in the process of working with this guy. So like in the process of this, I'm building, like, I'm learning about like geometrical shapes and the seed of life. And in the spiritual world, you're like in the darkness. So this is like, because like they're right next to us. So it's like I'm standing here, but in the spiritual world, I'm still standing where I'm standing, but it's all darkness. And you're adding light to the darkness. So you're giving the darkness light again, because you're empty inside. It's kind of like, you know, like you always had this emptiness inside. Well, now it's time to fill the emptiness up. You're learning, you're growing spiritually. It's time to fill the emptiness up. So now I'm kind of creating the seed of life, which is now the tree of life. And like every time, like I'm creating a circle, and it's creating like its own shape. And then like it becomes from two-dimensional to like one-dimensional, two-dimensional to, because one-dimensional is thought. Two-dimensional is giving it the idea, like creating it, and third-dimensional is like giving it shape. So now it goes from shape to fourth-dimensional, which is where I'm at in the spiritual world doing stuff. And it takes shape, and it works and helps my reality in this reality. And then allows it to unlock other realities, other dimensions, higher dimensions. So you got to build, you know, because you have the tree of life in you. You have the gold, the Holy Grail is inside you. All of this stuff's inside you, you know. But like as I'm building piece by piece. And so I first started, like I said, with the seed of life and created the shapes and stuff like that. And then throughout that, it like told me, like it showed my chakras. So like also my chakras showed up. And then now I'm like working with my chakras. And at first it was just like flat, and then I pulled them up like and they put energy into them, and then like it turned into like third dimensional. So like these orbs of light. And then like you can actually dive into the orbs of light, and it takes you into different realities that are connected to those orbs, because you gotta think like each chakra is connected to different realities, different planets, different solar systems. And then like all these things eventually make their way here, because like we have all these different alien DNA in us and different beings inside of us. And so like, which creates the different chakras, which is allows us to connect and figure out like who we really are, and like where do I really come from. What's like it's one thing like, you know, like I'm Jewish, but like what's really Jewish? Well, it turns out Jewish is angelic background, right? So like, and that's just one part of my side, right? So it's like finding out who you really are, who you're really connected to, and like your past lives, and by doing the diving. And it's different for each person because we're all different. Now, don't be wrong, like, so like I learned to find out that I was connected to like Zeus and Odin. So I was connected to a lot of like electrical beings, like thunder gods and thunder people like who work with electricity, like Tesla and stuff like this. So like you learn to, but like there's different versions of who you are, who existed in that person. And like, so like, there's like few of us, like two or three people that I've worked with now that have all connected to Zeus in different time periods. Like, cause you only have like, slivers of like, of memories that's encoded in your DNA. And like, once you unlock that DNA and you unlock those memories and you heal, then it unlocks more DNA. So like it unlocks as you unlock. It's like a tree that grows, like it grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, you know, like, I just want you to understand that, like, so this like spiritual growth path is not just something that's like fun. It's dark. And you have to dive and deal with the darkness. There's times where like, you know, Zeus was a piece of shit. I'm sorry, Zeus. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just telling them the story. Because they get angry. Your spirits get angry when you're kind of like bad-mouthing them. But I'm not bad-mouthing because he knows what he did in his past was wrong. Like he was fucking everything, cheating on his wife. So like it's these things that like you have to go heal because it affects your worldly view, who you are. And like, don't get me wrong, like this is one thing I'm not trying to take pride in, but like I never cheated my whole entire life. Never have, never will. And, but like, I didn't want it to affect me because I knew like the world was breaking me. And I was thinking about becoming that person multiple times. Like every time I got cheated on or hurt, I'm like, man, why don't I just start being like these motherfuckers? Because they seem to be getting all the bitches and all the women, and them women be like treating them really good while they are here cheating and fucking all these other women, you know? And I just don't want that. I'm going to be divine. I expect my woman to be divine. So I knew I always kept breaking myself. Like, don't be like that person. Like you're going to get blessed at the end, you know? And I know I'm being blessed because like I'm being blessed now, even as I speak, like I'm getting the blessings. And my life has changed since the beginning of my real spiritual journey to like my journey now, how I am. And I'm still growing. It's never ending. The universe is infinite. So I just want to let y'all know that. But like, so like I did all this growth and connecting to like the Egypt and Atlantis and not even here, there's like other planets outside. And I just kept connecting and working on my chakras and going back and healing things. And like, that's some of the things I did with like Zeus and Samson. And, it turns out I'm connected to Odin. So I worked with Odin, and Odin really wasn't even nothing really wrong with Odin. Odin lived his full life, but like there's things that like in his history that like he just failed at, and he, you know, like, and those failures broke him in his own ways, and it's to heal from that. So then like those failures in my life doesn't break me. Like I know like, hey, things happen, it's okay, you know, you can forgive yourself, you made mistakes, you know. And there's lots of my past lives. Like I went to a psychic fair with a friend of mine, and she introduced me some people, and this psychic lady, her name's Julie, and really good psychic. I mean, she's the real deal kind of psychic, you know. And she helped me. She was kind of bringing out stuff like, she goes, "You've had a lot of failures," and I kind of already knew. And she goes, "And you failed many times, and it's really hurt you over the times. Like it's really broken your soul, and like that's why you feel the way you feel now. That's why you build yourself the way you build yourself now. It's because you know you can't fail this time. Like you know that the world is counting on you to be this leader, to be this healer, to be this warrior, so you can protect the people that you care about this time, because you failed multiple times, like in multiple lifetimes, not just this lifetime, but she's like, there was one major one that's really set in stone, like your soul just will never forget, and you already know which one it is." And I was like, yeah. But I was like going through, I was like, hey, was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? And she's like, no. I was like, was it this one? You know, so it's like, and this is why it's important to know your ancestry. So like, it's think like the outer knowledge that you know from here is very important for the inner knowledge for what you do in here and how you grow and how you heal, because you also gotta be careful, because like there's times when like I'm building sigils and stuff like that, or building things inside my spiritual world I don't fully understand yet. And then, but I'll do it to test it, and then like you'll build so much, but I'll start feeling like things are fucking me up, and then like I kind of hear the snap, like I hear that noise in my head, and that's how I destroy things that aren't like. I'll be like, I'll focus. I'm like, let me get rid of whatever is not right for my soul, and let me destroy the things I've built inside myself that's now hindering me or affecting me wrongly, that wasn't meant for my growth. That's like evil. And then I hear the snap. I'm like. And then like, but in my head I hear like a thunderous snap, and then like it sends out this energy pulse, and then like it like disintegrates everything, like you know, like when fucking just like, it's funny, that's just like when Thanos snapped and wiped out half the world. Like that snap is more than you think. It's more symbolic than you think, but it's more physical and spiritual, because in the future you're gonna be able to power energy up and be like, and you're gonna be able to do things with a snap of a finger. But noise is destructive, quietness is creation. So know the difference. Creation is quiet, destruction is loud. So this is what I'm kind of wanting to teach y'all, and I'll get deeper into the stories and deeper into like my chakra work, and on the next video. I might make that in a couple days or so. I just wanted to kind of go to a part 2 and kind of give you an understanding like what happened after, you know, like the very beginning, you know, because then it gets, this whole next part, it's going to start getting complicated in a sense, but like not too complicated, but it'll get more and more complicated as like you'll need pictures and imagery, and that's where it's hard, because I don't know how to do the whole like, let me put the picture into the video, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to draw that, but I can paint the picture, I think, with my words. So I will do my best I can throughout this whole entire teaching scenario as I keep posting videos and teaching you guys to further help your growth. Thank you. Again, my name is Paul Lee. My video name is on here is Sunsoul, at Sunsoul789, so you can find me. I also have a Facebook. It's called Paul the Builder Lee. I hope this helps you. If you ever want to reach out to me. I'm an open book. I don't charge for teachings. The only thing I charge for is like if you want an exorcism or spiritual cleansing, because I don't have to be there to deal with it. I can actually use you as like a beacon, like a point of interest, and I can astral travel to you and deal with it there. If it's dangerous, you know. But those are the only things I charge for. But knowledge is free. I believe knowledge is free because knowledge has been free for me. And I want everyone to grow, because this is what we need for the planet's new evolution. And so that we can actually go against the evil people ruling over us. This is how you free yourself to not be a slave anymore by the system. So good luck out there, guys. I hope this was informational and informative for you guys, and helps you along your path of growth.